Well, here we are, day after Christmas, or as some people say, happy Boxing Day, Mr. Gary Alderson. Good to see you. Welcome to the call. My name is Kurt. I'm here with Magic, Emily Middleton, and we're going to do the Ask Us Anything call today, day after Christmas. It's either going to be really crowded with a lot of new folks asking a lot of really cool, interesting questions, or there's going to be nobody in here, and we're going to have to make up some crazy stuff to fill an hour. So, folks, if you are live, if you are here, I'd love it. Get in here and say hello. Let us know where you're from. If you got something new in the tech industry for the holiday, share with us what you got. I ordered a new desktop computer. I'm not going to get here till next week, but, I ordered one.
Yeah.
I decided to up my RAM game.
What are you at now, and what are you going to?
I'm at 16 now, and I'm going to go to 32 gigs of RAM. Because I thought, if I could speed up some of these editing things I do, maybe I'd be a little happier on the inside. Also, I leverage my laptop for a ton of stuff, and my laptop's become a de facto desktop. Like, sometimes I'd love to grab it and go run in the living room and do something real quick, but it's a pain because it's connected to everything. So I'm looking forward to having a desktop, like a committed desktop, and then a laptop that's not plugged into everything that I can just take to another room and use if I want. How about you?
What did I purchase on Christmas? I just bought a hair product and then some cryptocurrency. That's what I did.
What was your brand of cryptocurrency? What did you get lured in by?
Well, I just got the Christmas bonus from Lifter, and I just put it into Bitcoin. That's just the wholesome move to do with money you get from Chris.
Okay, because I know he's a Bitcoin kind of cat himself. I didn't know if he was all Bitcoin, if he was doing Ethereum, or if he was into other things.
He's got a really good diversified portfolio with all kinds of stuff in it.
Cool. We have, I'm friends with people that run Giver Marketing, which is a network of marketing professionals. Mm-hmm. And they're coming out with their own coin to use internally so that vendors can pay vendors with digital coin instead of cash. It's an interesting concept. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a look and see what we got going on in here today. So far, like I said, we've got Gary, and Gary, welcome to. And we've got Alexandra. Alexandra says, I need help with the tutorial, my account. I did not get it. Well, now I'm confused. What does that mean? And she says, please and thank you. So that's awesome. Steve Horn is here. Steve Horn says, are you Mac or PC? Steve, I am PC. Emily is Mac. Right? So
that's true.
The best of both worlds here. And then, of course, Gary's got to kick in and say, well, I ordered a Raspberry Pi 5. A Raspberry Pi 5, is that little one, Emily? Is that that little screen, that little thing, and you can set it to do automations and stuff?
I don't know. I'm looking at Raspberry Pi 5 now. It looks like a computer thing. I can share my screen and show this.
Sure.
Cheers. Let's see. Raspberry Pi 5 Google search. Right here.
Yeah, it's it's like a mini box. And it can do all kinds of things.
Very cool.
That is cool. You could and I don't want to talk down about it. I'm sure it's pretty cool stuff, but you can set it up to automatically open a gate on your property, or God bless you. You got another one?
Thank you.
You got another one in the chamber?
I don't. Maybe later. Stay tuned till the end, folks.
But I've heard of people automating smart homes and stuff like that with those kinds of little smart boxes. I'm not smart enough to talk about it in good terms, so I'll leave it at that. Gary says Zcash is going nuts. I don't know what Zcash is. That's some kind of digital currency.
Yeah, I don't. The only meme coin that I've been involved with is Pepe coin, and in the last year I put in like 1,500 and have made $2,000 off of it. So that's really awesome. But I was in a little bit early on it.
Sweet. So, Alexandra's given us some more details here, which is good. I'm sure we can dive in and talk about this a little bit more. But she says, at the end of all the tutorial, there is a video. We add my account to the menu so people can come log into their purchases and courses. So I think if I had to go out on a limb here, if you have a pre-existing website and you add LifterLMS, the install wizard is going to add some pages. But those pages don't automatically go to your main navigation menu. And so this may be a question about how to get those, added LifterLMS pages to the main navigation menu, because I've seen that come up before. It could also be, in certain instances, people want the menu to be dynamic so that only logged in people see access to my account or something like that. I'm not sure. Like, I know with Buddy Boss people, one of the features of Buddy Boss is it can automatically log you in and then have a conditional logic go to a login screen kind of thing. And I have a lot of people in Buddy Boss that ask me to set that up for them because the directions are a little confusing on that one. So she says, once I set everything up, they will receive a login link. Correct. Okay, so this is going to be dealing with, this will be a good idea for a tour today, and this will take up some time too, Emily, if you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, let's cover, just so I'm clear, let's cover the install wizard and what pages get created with the install wizard, so we could like rerun the install wizard on one of our demo sites. And then we could talk about adding those elements to a navigation menu. And then we could talk about the student journey when they sign up, when you actually have an access plan in place.
Yeah, so let me pull up my demo site here. So as far as rerunning the setup wizard, that would be LifterLMS status.
Yeah, and this is going to help Alexandra here because she's saying, no, I did not get the extra pages. So if you bypass stages in the install wizard, or if you didn't go through the install wizard, you will have missed this. So this is a really good one to see, Alexandra. And for those of you just catching a snip of this on the web, this will be an available replay on the Facebook page as well, so you can always go back to it. And here we go, Alexandra. It says install wizard. What is that? We're going to show you exactly how to launch the install wizard and take advantage of some of the really cool steps that Lifter put in the process for setting up your LifterLMS website. I think this is timely too, because we have a lot of new users right now.
Yeah. So sometimes when you launch a plugin, depending on your host settings, it might not run the setup wizard. And so the 4 pages that we're talking about are critical to LifterLMS's function. The first one is the courses page. This one displays a listing of your courses. So that's going to be something like this that dynamically populates your courses, similar to how blog posts would populate in an archive. The dashboard page, probably one of the most important ones of these pages. This is the second of the 4 pages installed, and this is where students will both log in if they're logged out, but also access their courses, grades, certificates, achievements, notes, or whatever features you have enabled. This is that student hub. And then we also have membership catalog, same as course catalog, but for memberships. And then the purchase page is where people will check out. I've seen a lot of users delete this page because they'll view it and it says nothing is on it. But that's because this page fuels the access plan system for Lifter. So we need those 4 pages for our access plans to work, for people to be able to log in. And if you don't have those pages, you can go to LifterLMS status, tools and utilities, and then rerun the setup wizard. So right here it says setup wizard, return to setup wizard. And if you have an existing website, don't worry, this isn't going to break your website. It's simply going to add the new pages and add a course if you choose to. So page setup. Oh, go ahead.
And a side note, Alexandra's question specifically mentioned the My Account page, and your demo showed the My Account page. I think we should let, especially beginners coming in, that My Account page is from a WooCommerce integration. So LifterLMS uses a page called Dashboard, and WooCommerce uses a My Account page. if you have a WooCommerce integration set up, that My Account page will add LifterLMS assets to it, and so you would use My Account instead of Dashboard.
Yeah, and let us know in chat if you're working with WooCommerce. The Lifter WooCommerce
today
is pretty extensive. Yeah, that's my problem. Oh, so yeah, we can show you how to use WooCommerce as well, but you will need a course and membership catalog. But you could use the shop. But let's continue talking about the setup wizard, and I'll show you WooCommerce in a second. So that'll set up your pages. We can select our currency, and if we would like to enable offline payments via something like a check or a bank order, something like that. Help improve LifterLMS, get a coupon. That's like if you want to send your data to LifterLMS. We know that like the largest LifterLMS website has like 1.5 million users, something like that, and that's because they turned on tracking. So we could get some statistics, and so then there is some courses as well you can install at the end. 6 courses that are optional. One of them is a course template. One of them is a lead magnet that shows you how to create a free course to get people into your website. One of them is how to use LifterLMS. But if you install any of these courses by checking the box and clicking import courses, it will add to the back end of your website, and you're welcome to use these as example courses if you're selling to clients and you need to show them a LifterLMS demo site. These are just open source, open community courses for you to use. You can even just publish the morning routine mastery course on your website and start selling it. It doesn't have a lot in it, it's just some text, but it is all relevant. But this gives us an example of what LifterLMS will look like populated inside of your website. But if you are using WooCommerce, we can talk about that too. So LifterLMS settings, there's a WooCommerce integration available in both the Universe and Infinity bundle. We access it by going to LifterLMS settings integrations once the plugin is installed. And so let me see if WooCommerce, I probably have it deactivated. So let me enable the integration and go back to my integrations page and see if I have 2 check marks. WooCommerce, I don't know if it's activated as a plugin. So it needs to both be activated as a plugin and activated on that page. So I guess I need WooCommerce active too. So let me make sure that that Lifter WooCommerce is also active. There it is. So we have Lifter WooCommerce integration and we have WooCommerce active. So now I should have some more settings on my page.
And for those of you that are wondering where the WooCommerce integration is, it would be under the add-ons and more menu item under LifterLMS, and if you've bought the integration, you'll be able to install it directly from that page. Yeah,
that would be somewhere on here, but there's so many add-ons. Somewhere on here, there's a plethora of add-ons. It's right here, and that'll take us to the store to pick it up. It's available in the Earth bundle too. Sorry, that's in all the bundles. No matter what one you have access to that one. But then inside of our settings, once we have WooCommerce enabled, order enrollment status is when an order reaches a certain point in WooCommerce, which I would recommend as processing based on how most people set up their websites. Processing means the payment has been accepted and the order is ready for being shipped. Now, in a digital product scenario, you don't need to ship an order because it's all a digital course or a digital membership. You get instant access. So we could actually say completed, but it's important to note that if we do say completed, and when we're adding a product in WooCommerce, we need to check 2 boxes so that the orders people place on this product will default to completed. That's virtual and downloadable. A lot of our users say, well, our product's not downloadable. There's no downloads. They're just receiving a course. But what happens is if you only select virtual, the product, when an order is placed, it will go to a processing order status. So if the enrollment status in Lifter says completed, but the orders are processing, your students won't be getting enrolled. But you could say processing and then only check this individual box for virtual. But you could also say completed and check the downloadable box too. And what will happen is all the products will just immediately go to completed. They'll get access because this is the enrollment status. That's a little niche setting, but you set up your products in WooCommerce. And the WooCommerce setup is a little more complicated than LifterLMS out of the box. So if you're new to LifterLMS, know that you don't have to go down this this track of the complications of WooCommerce if you don't want to. There are reasons to do it, good reasons if you need tax purposes, if you need a cart feature. There's a lot of reasons to use WooCommerce, but you don't have to with Lifter. But if you are, we need to create products that are associated with your courses. So because I have my Morning Life Mastery course, we'll create that as a product. This product will be $100, and I'll publish that. It's virtual and downloadable. Remember that piece of it. And now I need to go into my course for Morning Life Mastery and associate this course with the product I just created. So they're tied together. So in my access plans, we're going to call it the Morning Life Mastery Plan and WooCommerce product. So it'll be the Morning Life Mastery. So when someone purchases this product, they'll be enrolled in the course. And yeah, so once people pick that up, they'll be added to the course, but WooCommerce also adds some pages, and I don't think they use a setup wizard to do it. I think they just add it in the background. But like, this is that My Account page that Kurt was mentioning earlier, and if we're in the LifterLMS settings, the My Account endpoints are what Kurt was mentioning. These endpoints get added to the WooCommerce dashboard, so you can see my courses, my grades, memberships, etc. If you don't need memberships, if you don't need grades, you can actually cut these pieces off, save your changes, and then what appears here will be minimized a little bit. But you'll use that WooCommerce My Account page instead of the Lifter dashboard if you're using WooCommerce. But what do you think about that, Kurt?
I think we kind of went the full circle on that a little bit. So the next question that I know that Alexandra had was, how do people access the My Account page? And so we just need to show her pretty quickly, like, and you could put a button anywhere on your website that goes to the page, but let's just be like, the most consistent thing is to add a My Account link to the main navigation.
Yeah, and so I have this dashboard page because I'm using LifterLMS out of the box, but like Kurt said, just add it to your menu. And I'm using the SkyPilot theme, so this is going to be a little more complicated than it might be in a non-full site editing theme. But how I edit my menus with my theme is I go to my header, I open the group and the row, and where is it? So I have a dashboard button right here. And so I might swap this link out. It says /dashboard. I might change that to my account, but then I can also add it into my navigation menu. Right here, over on the right side, I'll put a page link, and that page link is my account. An alternative way to do it. So however your theme prefers you to add items to your menu, you can do that, and people will log in and access their courses there.
Yeah, and then one tip I would give you, Alexandra, because it does sound like you're a little bit newer to the Lifter family, is whenever you are trying to look at the website the way a student would see the website, there is an option at the top right side of the screen that'll say view as a visitor, view as a student, or view as yourself. But what I actually recommend, and I think Emily feels the same, is just open up an incognito window and go to the link by itself in a bare tab, and make sure that your browser cache and other things aren't interfering with what you would see in your website. So when you want to test the website from an end user's perspective, it's always best to either go into a separate browser or an incognito window to view the site, because a lot of the content in LifterLMS is dynamically placed. So on the internet, we have static stuff and we have dynamic stuff. And static is the stuff that looks the same to everybody. And dynamic is the stuff that it's fed to the user based on their enrollment status. Yeah, and she says, thank you. Yes, I'm just getting started. And welcome to the call, Alexandra. You're in exactly the right place for exactly the right reason. No question is too simple or anything on this call, so don't worry about any of that. It's really good to have you. There's a ton of people. This is like, oh my goodness, it's like I'm really big into mountain biking, right? And so people show up on the trail all the time that are like incredibly new to bicycling. And there'll be people that I ride with, and they'll be like, that person on the trail is blocking the trail. And it's like, hey, whoa, let's slow things down, not be so judgmental. Do you remember the first time you ever got on a mountain bike trail? It's the same thing with the internet. Kudos to you if you're jumping out and you're a course creator and you've got an idea to promote. You're in exactly the right place at the right time to do that. All right. Okay. Thank you. I do that, and that how I found the PayPal link is not working anymore. Yep. So the incognito window showed you the PayPal is not my favorite. Okay. My PayPal button used to work after putting LifterLMS site stopped working. You're using LifterLMS with WooCommerce. So WooCommerce should be the cash register on your website, not LifterLMS. So that might be an enablement issue back in the integrations area or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So, and then sidebar, I'm a big fan of Stripe. And so if you're having issues with PayPal, it is really not hard to set up Stripe and activate Stripe. And you may find that to be less of a speed bump riddled path to be on. You know, one thing I think a lot of people don't recognize, Emily, is the all those courses now that show up on the install wizard. Those are also in the back end with the add-ons and more, right? You're muted, so I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I can go to LifterLMS add-ons and more, like you said. I thought they were in the import menu, actually. So if we go to LifterLMS import...
Oh, maybe they're in the import menu, yeah.
They should be here. And so if you didn't want to rerun Setup Wizard, you can get those right here.
And those are free to use for any purpose, for anything. I mean, it's like WordPress itself. You can download it, you can change it, you can modify it, you can do whatever you want with it. And in the add-ons and more, there is a tab for courses now, so I wonder if it's in there too. I think it's in both spots.
Yeah, there may be. Let's explore it. There's a lot to be found in the add-ons
and more, and then there's a tab in there for courses. Right there we go.
Yeah,
I thought I saw it in there. No, those are that's the courses from our academy.
Yeah, and this is an overlap, but then these are also some really valuable resources for beginners if you want to check any of these out. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, Alexandra said something is not linked somewhere because the fast lane works. I'm a little confused.
She's talking about her PayPal.
Yeah, so I mean, problems with PayPal aren't specifically news to us, but if you do need to use PayPal, they do offer like PayPal buttons, and you don't usually want to do that, but I could show you a little bit about configuring PayPal for WooCommerce. So if we go to plugins, add new, how PayPal would work with WooCommerce with a LifterLMS setting would be PayPal Woo. I'll add this as a plugin, and then something like this. What is the de facto PayPal WooCommerce option? Wonder if they removed it or if they're still accepting it. I don't see it.
They're trying to get everybody to use Woo payments, so I don't know what's still available in the repository.
Yeah, let's see what's available. Here's one. WooCommerce PayPal payments. I do have a client who uses WooCommerce and PayPal, and it is probably one of the most difficult parts of their setup, and they have like 70 plugins, including a backend CRM on their website. But PayPal can just be a little complicated sometimes. But how you would use it is WooCommerce PayPal payments will activate that one, and then I think it's WooCommerce settings checkout is where we'll find, or payments is what they call it. So we have these options for payments, and like Kurt said, Woo payments is what they're really pushing right now. And then PayPal is an option that I just added, so I'm going to check that box over here. And then I have to go to finish my setup by logging into my PayPal account and everything. But once you're logged in on PayPal and all of that's connected here, then when we go to checkout for a product, we should be able to purchase via PayPal. But I'm not sure. Alexander said the button PayPal/Venmo. I'm a little confused about what the payment setup going on here is. Are you using the the payments that I showed on screen through WooCommerce, or is it a separate PayPal button direct from PayPal? Adam Silver says, hi, that's all.
Yeah, I threw that up on the screen while you were busy chatting.
Nice.
It's good to see Adam on the call. And then we did have a question that came in ahead of the call. You know how people can pre-register their questions? This is from
yes.
a gentleman named David. So David says, how can I restrict media files so they can't be opened unless the user is registered with a course? Our lessons have lots of PDF resources that are open via the UX, so I don't want them to just be assignments. Well, I think a couple of things is once somebody opens a PDF on their computer, they can save the PDF on the computer. So that's like if the PDF is the thing that we're using, we have to like really take apart the question. So the question says, how do I restrict media files so they can't be opened unless a user is registered with a course? Well, that's perfect. You would put the PDFs, the links to the PDFs in the lessons, and people can't get into the lessons unless they're enrolled in a course. So the only people, based on your membership user restrictions, the only people that would be able to open those PDFs would be people that were enrolled in the course. Does that make sense? Did I say that the right way, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you have an access plan that locks people out of that course unless they're enrolled, then people can't get to it unless they're enrolled. So I'm a real big proponent on like LifterLMS's membership restriction tools are a lot more effective than just limiting lessons. You could literally have a resources page in your website and then restrict that page based on membership. Like you can only view this page if you have, access to these memberships or that kind of thing. And so you can get really granular on some of the stuff that you show people. You can also have block visibility driven by membership access inside the website. So you could have a video on a page, just for instance, you could have two videos that are on the same web page. And you could have one video that plays to unenrolled users, and you could have a second video that only plays to enrolled users. And whether you're enrolled or unenrolled, you would look at that page and see only one video. You wouldn't see like a video and then a black box. You would only see one video. But because of the membership restriction tools in LifterLMS, you're able to dynamically feed people the content you want to feed them based on those tools.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I said that right. You're really good at showing people that, but sometimes I think that when we start to describe these things, I think sometimes we say it like it's easy, and then people are like, I still don't know what you just said.
Yeah.
No,
certainly.
we have here.
But if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to put them in the chat too. We can show or elaborate or anything. Yeah.
I have somebody. I have a client that is not using LifterLMS. They're using a separate LMS product, and they were in that same position that David was just asking about. They're like, we have content that we don't want everybody to see, and they wanted to restrict things like certain things in the menu. They wanted they wanted enrolled people to see one menu, unenrolled people to see a different menu. They wanted people to have access to different elements in the website. And in that situation, because they don't have LifterLMS and they're using some other WordPress-based LMS system, we had to install SureMembers to their website. And there's other products, but we chose SureMember for this particular use case, and that worked really well to get that membership restriction kind of feel that we were looking for. And I couldn't help but feel the whole time I was setting that up for the client, like if they just had Lifter, this would have been so much easier.
Right. No, certainly. Lifter's, in my experience, the most feature-rich LMS in WordPress on standalone. Like if you're looking for membership features, access plan features built in, recurring payment systems, add-ons to your courses, such as quizzes, assignments, etc. It's or even if you're getting into custom development and you're looking to hire coders to help you extend the features, it's just been my go-to. Even though I do work with other LMSs like LearnDash and Sensei and TutorLMS, and they have some great features. They even include some features that LifterLMS doesn't have, like a lesson timer, for example. Or I think it's much easier to set up a course in Sensei than it is in Lifter, honestly, because of the setup wizard leads you right into it. But the feature set I found to be a bit more limited. So if what you want to do is going to be a little more limited by the scope of what the product can do for you. But yeah, so that's why I recommend that learning curve LifterLMS has for you. And if you are new to WordPress, LifterLMS has a lot of resources for you. That's one of the coolest things. Like we were looking at earlier, add-ons and more courses. If you're new to the community, we go to courses. Not only do we have an extensive podcast and success stories, etc., but we also have these courses here. So if you're getting started with Lifter, we'll show you how to use it. But if you're getting started with WordPress, we also have a great class on that for you, curated by people at the LifterLMS team, including Kurt, on that one. So you're learning WordPress, you're learning Lifter, you're learning how to get your first 10 enrollments, grow a 6-figure business, and just get into this industry in general. All the resources are available.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of some other things where I was really like thankful for what we have. We just had in our support area, somebody had sent in a thing that said, oh, I'm trying to create a course catalog and it's ugly, and some of the standard comments that sometimes we see. And I responded and said, oh, well, if you're working with Elementor, you can do this, you can do that. There's short codes, there's, tangible elements for Lifter. And then, kind of had that exchange, that normal exchange that you and I have, Emily. But we usually don't get feedback back from that. Like usually we send some information or we send some hints or like, hey, you can do this, right? But in this particular case, I opened up our support channel today. And it was somebody saying, hey, thanks so much for your advice. I got my course catalog built. And then it turned out that they were actually on the agency side of things. They said, oh, the client's very happy and now we're able to launch and all those fun things. And we kind of had a little bit of an exchange. And I just find it so interesting. And we've talked about this before, but, it especially got amplified with this series of messages. And that was, some people get used to working in the SaaS atmosphere, right? So that's your Podia, Udemy, one of the most successful ones, and it's escaping my mind. What's the big one?
There's Teachable.
What wasn't the one I was thinking of?
Udemy, Kajabi.
That's the one, Kajabi. That's the one. Everyone's like, Kajabi, and Kajabi, and but it's not incredibly flexible, right? Like you don't have a lot of say in the look and format and design and messaging. And they have a ton of templates to choose. Like Kajabi's got a ton of templates to choose from, but it's still not hyper flexible. And so then when you consult with somebody that's, new to the WordPress space, at least on the LMS side of things, and you're like, oh yeah, you can just use this short code, design any page you want, put this short code in place. It'll put your course menu where you want it, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, this is so amazing. And it's like, yeah, if you've come from another area of e-learning, it's really interesting to see what you can do with Lifter. I'm part of a Slack group that does e-learning. In fact, what's the name of it? Because I'll probably screw it up. I've been a member of it for years. It's called Customer Education Org. It's a very creative name for course creators. So it's a Slack group I've been a member of for years. And then every now and then a thread will start and people will say, oh, well, what platform do you use? And this is in the corporate learning space, Emily. It's amazing how many people don't even know what they use, right? And I've said this for years. I'm like, a lot of people in the e-learning space, they don't even know what they're using. They don't even know what the capacity is. They don't know what the site is capable of because they were hired for a certain part of the job. Like they work inside Articulate or Captivate and they make the course and then they hand the course over and then someone else is in charge of like where that course gets embedded or implemented and how it gets displayed to the end user. And so it's really interesting to me when I talk to people from that side of, the enterprise community, and we start talking about, the freedoms of WordPress and the flexibility and the designs that you can do. We're all pretty much blown away, right? And then there comes that realization, right, where people go, "Oh, I thought WordPress was a hobby thing. I didn't realize it was like this," But it's been a really fun journey in that channel for me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. There's a lot of great resources on the web, and the people in the community are all connected to them. So getting into our Facebook group, getting into those courses, contacting Kurt directly through Help Scout is going to be so good ways to get aligned with the resources that you need for your LMS site. But let us know in the chat any questions y'all have, anything you're looking to put together. The questions look a little bit light today in the chat, even though we have a lot of viewers. But yeah, and if anyone wants to see a demo of anything, if you're new to the LifterLMS community, we can talk about some of the add-ons or what's available in the package that you may have purchased. But yeah, this is an open resource, so let us know what's on your mind in the chat. Let's see, but in the absence of chats online, we are opened to a singing hour, and singing.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
and
Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
So song requests in the chat are also welcome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Christmas is over now. I gotta stop singing Christmas songs. Got to move on to like New Year's songs. What's a good New Year's song?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Christmas season isn't over until like the middle of March.
Middle of March. Oh, if you're in Colorado, for sure. Like if you're in the Denver area, it's for sure. Christmas isn't over. In Colorado, we had to leave our Christmas lights up until something like February 1st or something like that because of the Western Stock Show, the big cattle show that's there. Oh, there's Steve Horn being nice. Look at that. I think the support and training at Lifter goes way beyond other platforms. Is this the last meeting today? No, Steve, this is not the last meeting today. You will see us in office hours. If you decide to come to office hours, we will see you there. And for those of you watching the call and you're going, office hours, what's that? Ooh, how do I go to office hours? Anyone that has the Universe or the Infinity Bundle gets added to a separate listing in our CRM, and you get an invite. You're entitled to come to the office hours call. And the office hours call is Zoom-based, not StreamYard-based. It's Zoom-based. We're all on screen together. We can problem solve in a group. We kind of get a hive mind thought about things. We take questions. And going forward into the new year, I'm kind of playing with the idea of maybe we start out with like a theme at the beginning of the call. Maybe we do something like, what's a payment gateway setup look like? Or maybe we do something like, I don't know, how to implement a custom design featured into a My Account page or a dashboard page or something. Because we kind of do this free-for-all question and answers thing, but I've noticed for the last few calls, we've been a little light on the question, and I've had to sing on some occasions.
Yes. But
so, Alexandra's put this question in a couple of times, and I'm confused. Maybe you understand it better than me, Emily. It says, my course is the same equivalent as my account. And it's really not, unless you've renamed something inside your website, Alexandra. My courses is part of the My Account page, and it's part of the My Dashboard page. And it just shows the courses that you're enrolled in. But the My Account page is where you get access to those things. She says, I don't have My Account.
In page,
that's a standard setup if you're in WooCommerce.
Yeah, and so I would recommend going to the back end of your WordPress website going to pages, and if you have WooCommerce activated, check around for a page that says dash my account page. It will say that as gray text. No matter what the name of the page is here, it will say in some dark gray text following this here. And that's how you know that that's the account page. If you don't have this, then we can create it. We would go to WooCommerce settings and then figure out where it is. I don't even know. Maybe accounts and privacy? Maybe. Emails, integrations, advanced. Maybe it's general. Somewhere we designate our pages. Products, shipping, payments, accounts and privacy, emails, integration, site visibility, and advanced. Here we go. So it's advanced. So under advanced, we can designate a My Account page if you don't have one. So check your WordPress pages. So I don't have it. So I'm not finishing setting up WooCommerce. Right. So WooCommerce does need to be set up a little bit more, just to go to WooCommerce settings, advanced. WooCommerce usually adds these pages, but I have seen a lot of my clients throw the pages in the trash. And then I'll recover them. But you can also go to pages, add new. You're going to need 3 pages for WooCommerce: checkout, my account, and cart. Those 3 pages. And so you could create your own page called cart, your own page called checkout, and your own page called my account. You also need a products page. Oh my gosh. I think my cat's tearing apart the kitchen. I can hear a lot of banging. He hasn't been fed today. But yeah, a shop page is also one you need.
Now I'll feed myself. Meow.
I know he does. He goes into pantries. He we use baby safe locks now, not magnetic ones, like actual clips, because he's been ripping and he's figuring out how to open them, and he'll get into the pantry and just tear everything apart, or get into the fridge and get into everything. But let's see. So yeah, 4 pages you need: shop, checkout, cart, and my account. If you don't have those created, just go to pages, add new, add 4 pages, add new. You'll add and you don't need to add anything to these pages. You don't need to build anything out specifically. You just need to type the word cart and click publish, and then go back to your WooCommerce settings and designate that as the cart. And that's all you need to do for all 4 pages. I think. I don't know if you need a short code. Let's see. I should not say that without verifying that you don't need a short code or something.
I think that's the settings assign the short code.
I thought that too. So let's see though. Maybe it does.
Now you have 2 cart pages.
I have 2 cart pages. Maybe there is a short code on here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's a lot on here. What is this? They added blocks. But let me see if I do cart. This will be my cart 2. I'm going to update it to cart 2 and see what happens. I've never manually reconfigured WooCommerce before.
You're like, hey, let's try to break it and see if that works.
Yeah. So this is going to be cart 2. Cart 2. And then save that. And let's see what happens to cart 2. So cart 2 should now become our cart page.
Yeah.
And if I edit this, what's it going to do? Nothing. But let's view this. It should do the cart functionality. Your cart is empty. So it will work. It's just not formatted with whatever cart 1 had, which was a lot of blocks on it. So, a lot of blocks. So yeah, I guess WooCommerce has blocks now. I haven't worked with these before. WooCommerce.
I did a project with PoodlePress's custom WooCommerce pages add-on, and that was interesting.
Yeah, I remember that one. The client gave you a real specific layout and real specific features, and PoodlePress filled the gap there.
Yeah. That was that's a task. I had that project sneak up on me again last week. I got to do some work on it.
Oh, that one, I remember that was a big project with a lot of requirements.
A lot of customizations, a lot of requirements. And then that was one of those that's one of those awkward things where, you know, you have a client saying, well, I want pixel perfect reproductions of something. And you're like, the internet doesn't work in pixel perfect renditions of things, you know, because of screen sizes and breakpoints and things like that. You know, well, now it looks weird on mobile. Yeah, it sure does. What do you want to do about that now?
Right. Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. But Alexandra said, I have a cart, checkout, it won't let me add my account. So if we need checkout and account, we would add our pages, and then assign those in the WooCommerce settings. If you mean it won't let you create an account at checkout, I can show you how to do that too. But my account page, let's see what's on here. It's WooCommerce_my account. So if you just add this one to your account page and then designate that as the my account page in those settings, WooCommerce settings advanced. And if you're asking the question, or I'll show you that real quick too. We'll take it slow. So WooCommerce settings account. So we've added our shortcode. We have a page called My Account. We go to WooCommerce settings advanced. Right there. And then we'll designate our page, My Account. And then we'll do the same for checkout. Checkout probably has a shortcode too. But once all of your pages are designated, WooCommerce can be complicated for just getting into WordPress. But once you have this set up, it should be good. Oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. all you need is just like shortcode or something. It used to be a shortcode, now it's like a bunch of blocks. But I think if I just add a page, bless you. If I go to checkout 2, I should be able to just create a checkout page, assign it in the settings, and it should work. Let's test that theory. So checkout 2 is created. My checkout page is called checkout 2. There it is. Save. And if I view the page, it should say your cart is empty. Cart is empty. So it redirects to the cart because I don't have anything in the cart. But if I go to my shop, or let me just add my product to the cart and confirm this works. It should work. You don't really need any blocks or anything. You just need to have pages and assign them. Let's see. So morning routine. Oop. Let's view it, add it to my cart, and see if it works with my cart 2. It's been added to your cart. Go to your cart. Cart 2, it's in there. Proceed to checkout for $100. Information. Yeah, so you don't need any blocks or anything. You just need to assign those pages. And there is an additional setting I recommend for LifterLMS WooCommerce users. How do I... let's see.
So you're racking up them Benjamins.
Yeah, net sales $500. That's more money than I've made on some of my course websites. I've launched a lot of duds, folks. But WooCommerce, we're looking for not WooCommerce. Yeah, we're looking for WooCommerce settings. Because with LifterLMS and WooCommerce specifically, we need people to create an account in order to store their password and for them to be able to come back to the website and log in. So how we do that is by going to WooCommerce settings, accounts, and privacy. And we want to enable guest checkout. That's not what we want. Why is that recommended? We want to enable login during checkout. We don't want anyone to be able to check out as a guest, because if you buy a course and you check out as a guest, you're not going to be able to log in and access your course. So make sure that enable guest is turned off, and you'll find all of this information in our tutorials too. But we do want to enable login during checkout. If someone comes back to our website and they're not logged in, they can log into their existing account. But we also want to allow customers to create an account during checkout. And one very annoying feature of WooCommerce is that recently they've added a feature to not allow people to set a password on checkout. And as far as I know, that's still a feature that they have added. It used to be years ago, like at least a year or 2 years ago, you used to be able to say email password on checkout and have your account created. So you type your email, you type your password, but now they don't let you create passwords on checkout. They just ask for your email and they'll send you a password reset link via email. So they have to buy and set their email, and then they'll receive a link to set their password to log in a second time. So it's supposed to be a little smoother because it's one less field that you have to fill out in order to purchase, and then you simply create a password to log in a second time because you're automatically logged in the first time that you go to checkout, enter your email, you're logged in. But then you don't have a password, you have to set it to log in again later. But that's just confusing to me. And so I would recommend something like launch flows or cart flows or something like that. If you do require a password field on checkout, there are third-party add-ons for WooCommerce that allow you to do that. Hopefully that wasn't too much. Let us know in the comments if you're still having a complication with that, Alexandra, and we can show that. But I don't know. I think for me the easiest setup is Stripe with Lifter. PayPal is one I would avoid if possible, but if not, certain regions don't allow easy payments with credit or debit cards, so people will use PayPal accounts. So if PayPal is popular in regions that you're selling in, trying now, thank you. But if PayPal is popular in regions you're selling to, it might be worth the hassle in order to generate the revenue. But just a word of warning on that one.
There's one cool thing about PayPal that I find works if you have a higher priced product. So if you're $50 or less, Stripe all the way Stripe. Not even a second guess for me. But if you're in the $500, $600, $800 range, PayPal's got that option for purchasers to extend it to PayPal credit and get 6 months, same as cash financing through PayPal. That could net you more sales that way. So I can see why some people like to leverage PayPal. I just, from a developer standpoint, if I was to really extend the bounds of my perceptions of myself and call me that, I think that it adds a level of difficulty that I'd choose to avoid if I could.
Yeah.
Gary Alderson's got an interesting question in here. He's saying, how does one set a default province state during registration? Example, we primarily service the province of Manitoba, but the default comes up Alberta.
Let's see.
It's default Alberta because it starts with an A?
Yeah, it is. It's always alphabetical. In the US, it's Alabama that's always at the top. I don't know if there's a way to change that without custom code, but I did have a client ask me that too. They're like, why is Alabama always selected? Some of our users don't update it. Could we even have it blank so that they have to select a state? LifterLMS just defaults to the first alphabetical.
Yeah. I don't know a way to change it.
I don't either. So you could submit a support ticket on that, talk in the developer Slack. It might be like a little snippet of custom code or something. But yeah, that I've noticed that too, and there have been some challenges with that one. So Alexandra says, my clients have PayPal. Most of them are international. Petition to remove, to rename. Oh yeah, and it's open. That would save you on this one. That's very good. Okay, Alexandra has the account page. All my service.
It's nice when something works.
It's nice when something works. What does this say? All my service have PayPal button directly through Payola. Never had an issue. Just copy and paste. Yeah, WooCommerce and PayPal requires a little bit of a deeper integration. I'm not familiar with Payola, but
it sounds like it's from Looney Tunes.
Payola. I like that. It rolls off the tongue. Payola.
Hey, how can you make snowball in summertime? It says, okay, the client buys a course, gets a link in their email with the password, correct? They get a link not with the password, they get a link to set their password, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typo PayPal. Oh, I like Payola better.
Sounded better.
It did. We should create a payment solution called Payola now. That's a wonderful name. But yeah, so PayPal buttons directly through PayPal are relatively simple because they're built with the PayPal interface. PayPal doesn't like working with other people, no matter what they say, at least in terms of how they work. Like, so we've been developing a LifterLMS integration for like a long time, for years and years and years, and it's just been so complicated to work with PayPal developers because probably they're just way too busy. I don't know what they're going through, but WooCommerce is likely facing similar issues where balancing integrating with PayPal is necessary because it is so popular, but developing on top of their APIs and working with developers to get add-ons approved, which is necessary to be able to process payments through the gateway, is just complicated. We've had a lot of complications at Lifter with our Lifter Direct PayPal, but WooCommerce likely has the same complications. Now, PayPal does wonderful things as far as internationalization and peer-to-peer payments with like the PayPal button and everything, but their ability to integrate commerce from third-party vendors like WooCommerce or Lifter is a little bit complicated. So we're doing our best, but you're right, it is a complicated one. Maybe we'll make a new payment solution called Payola, and it will it will rise to the top of the payment gateways. After setting up their password, they come to my account and it will have login form for them. Usually, I think they're logged in immediately by default. I think they complete their checkout, they're logged in, they can access their course, but then if they want to log in a second time in a week or a month from then, they'll need to set a password in their email from that reset link. And let's see.
I think that question is because I've got this question from developers, not developers, from course creators too. Yeah, Alexandra, if they already have a username and password set up and they want to sign into the website, they're going to click sign in, or they're going to click on my account, and it's going to default to a login page. They'll put their username and password in on that login page, and then that login page will refresh as the dashboard or the my account page. And then, of course, that's where they can get to all their courses. And we've only got a minute left, but the reason that user experience is really handy the way that I described it is I have a lot of instances where companies might white label a course or have a hidden course that they put students into that's not necessarily part of the course catalog that's publicly exposed. And so when a student is enrolled in one of those active but hidden courses, they'll access it through their dashboard or my account page. And so when they sign into the website, the first thing they should see would be a my account or dashboard page so they can access their courses directly from that page. You know what time it is now, Emily?
It's time for the wrap up.
What's the time? It's time to get ill. Say, what's the time? It's time to get ill. All right. Now I can't remember where we go now because they've moved things around here in StreamYard. All right. Here we go. Wave goodbye. See you next week, next year.